Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Aurora Stefarak here with Translucent Truth Yoga to deliver you the weekly intuitive energy update for the week of January 10th, 2022. So welcome if you are new, and if you have been here before, welcome back. These are timeless readings. So what that means is that these messages work on frequency, vibration, and resonance. And so whenever you're finding this video, even if it is past this week, the messages that are going to come through today are exactly what you've been asking for, okay? So just trust, keep an open mind, keep an open heart, and just listen to what comes through. So we are in the second week of the year, and it has been already a lot. Like, I don't even have words for how much. Here, let me just mute my phone for a second so nobody can bug me. A lot. We've been through a lot. And when I say that, I just mean the information that's coming through in the collective. And look at my incense smoke is coming to greet us here to let me know that yes, all this is being cleared, all this is being carried away. There's a lot of stuff that's going to be surfacing this year. My physical body has been through the ringer the last 3 days, which is a whole nother can of worms, which is what's kind of set the tone for this week's messages. We're not gonna take too long today. I stop and say that because I'm like, well, you never know. But yeah, I don't want to take too long today. I'm not feeling 100. And I even yesterday decided, I'm just gonna take the day off of the energy update, and I'm gonna show up today. I'm gonna get out what needs to come out, and then move on, right? So this week we don't have any full moon. That's actually coming up next Monday. So next Monday, the energy update, I'll be talking about that peak energy. I haven't done any research. I don't even know what sign it's going to be in. I don't really know anything about it because I've basically been dying. So this is part of life, is death, right? And so giving us that space, giving ourselves the nurturing energy, the mothering energy, the slowing down, connecting to the breath, because we have no choice when our physical body is not going to work, right? So yeah, I guess I'll just get right into it because I don't have a lot of notes, but I really do want to talk about like some basic stuff, like just basic health and what health is, and really getting into the physical side of things, because this is what this week really woke me up to. I have a lot of knowledge from all over. Actually, I might read this. I haven't decided yet. So this is an article that was written about me and my shop last month, and it was put out this month. So I don't know if I want to read that or not. We'll see. You know what? Let's just get into it. Let me just read it. I'll read it, and then you guys can have an idea. If you don't know who I am or anything about me, at least this gives you a little bit of something, right? So, yeah, I'm just going to start reading it. So, here we go. Okay, so Aurora Stefarak believes in the healing power of energy. Her new studio, Translucent Truth Yoga, located in downtown Petrolia, takes clients on a journey of self-discovery through card readings, sound baths, and yoga. Aurora's wellness journey started back in 2017 when she completed an online course called Trust Your Intuition. The course teaches you how to heal your own trauma. A lifelong depression sufferer, Aurora found hope and healing through the course. Learning how to heal myself from the inside out and to be guided back to my intuition is truly what saved my life. I have been able to allow for my higher self, my soul, to guide my path, guiding me to help others to do the same, says Aurora. Her training includes aromatherapy for chakra balance, reflexology, chakra massage, and yoga. She also took a course through Humber College involving traditional Chinese medicine and has completed a comprehensive 200-hour yoga teacher training in Costa Rica. The studio offers 2 types of therapy: intuitive card readings and sound bath healings. In a 45-minute card reading, Aurora calls in your higher self and any spirit guides that are there to help you back to yourself. She channels information through intuition and oracle cards to help you back to balance and harmony. The 30-minute sound bath is an excellent choice for people struggling with relaxation. It allows you to connect with your parasympathetic nervous system responsible for rest and digestion. The sound vibrations through the singing bowl and the soothing nature of aromatherapy make for a truly relaxing experience. Yoga classes are in the works, taught by a variety of local yoga teachers. A full class schedule will be available on her Facebook and Instagram accounts as they become available. Each Monday, Aurora issues intuitive energy updates on her YouTube channel, a feature enjoyed by many viewers over the past several months. On Wednesdays, she issues oracle cards and with in-depth write-ups for viewers to choose from that will help carry them back to wholeness. Inside the studio, you will find a beautiful mixed display of metaphysical items, including smudging bundles, healing crystals, tapestries, and energy cleansing toolkits. The shop also includes a wide variety of handmade goods provided by various members of Aurora's family. Coming from an entrepreneurial family, Aurora grew up surrounded by the healing products created by her mother, Sandra, through her business, Yamaya Natural Products. Sandra has found success over the past 25 years by providing consumers with natural remedies. Perhaps most popular are her products directed towards the postpartum body. These items include raspberry leaf tea used to increase milk production and healing ointments and balms. She also creates a very popular sunscreen that has been on her top sellers. Provided by her grandmother, you will find you will find a wide assortment of quilts ranging from lap size to double bed. They vary greatly in print and are suitable for men, women, and children. She also makes change purses, makeup bags, and grocery bags. Her sister, also a seamstress, creates handmade booties for babies and toddlers under the business name Cozy Toesies. Translucent Truth Yoga is located in the heart of Petrolia at 1483 Petrolia Line next to Guardian Pharmacy. For more information regarding Translucent Truth's business hours and services and yoga classes, please visit them on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, or call with my number on it. Okay, so that is the write-up. So this is what has been put out to the world. And so I think it's so great because my mom ended up getting that all set up for me because she knows the woman that wrote the article, and she was like, hey, yeah, my daughter's opening a shop. I think that would be really awesome. So now this is the result of it. So now for anyone that is new here or that just didn't know some things about me, because I don't really talk about me a lot, I just kind of sit here and channel the information, do my job, and then go home and then get off. So that's a little bit about me. Now, a lot of my stuff that I've studied, it has not been completed, but that doesn't mean that I haven't gotten what I've needed out of it, right? So I know a little bit about a lot of things, okay? And so my intuition kind of pulls it all together, and I'm kind of the conduit and this kind of prism that puts the information forth for people to actually understand. Learning to simplify things, learning to teach people how to see a different way of understanding reality, of even just understanding the body, the mind, what they're experiencing and what they're going through, and how they can learn to process that information. Because that's really what life is, you know? Like, if you can process life, then you can live a happy, healthy life. If you cannot process life, which is trauma responses, right? A lot of us are in trauma, which I was reminded of what it is to be there during this physical detox that I've just gone through in the last couple of days. I just was reminded what it's like to have a weak body, which then makes a weak mind, and then a weak spirit, because you just don't want to fucking be here anymore, because it's hard, it's tough, it's difficult when you don't have the answers and you just keep going back to what you've always done. It's like the most fucking painful thing that you could ever do, because you know that there's more. You just don't know what to do. You don't know where to go, right? And so the whole idea here is just to teach people one moment at a time how they can help themselves and how they can really learn to stand into their power, to take their power back, to stop giving it away to other people, to learn certain things so that they can have an understanding of how certain things work or what certain things mean to them, right? This is all belief system stuff, right? So the more that we can really go into our own being, like that's what saved my life. It said it in the article, right? Like all I've known my whole life is depression until, the last couple of years where I started coming out of that contraction energy of needing to be in that energy. That's just life sometimes, like suffering is necessary until it's not. Okay? And what I mean by that is that, like we can keep doing the same thing over and over and over again and expect a different result. Now that's insanity. Okay, and so we're gonna go insane if we keep doing the same thing and expect a different result. Perfect example is trusting the government. If you're gonna trust the government, if you're gonna think they have your best health in the front of their mind and they want to make you feel better and healthy and whole, well, then you get a whole rabbit hole of things to unlearn and relearn because it's just not the truth. Okay, like the government does not give a shit about you. The government does not care about you. The government has been lying to you your entire lives. I guess this is a big truth bomb week, because I just don't have it in me anymore to like beat around the bush, right? Like, because after getting sick, after going through this, after feeling what it is to have no energy, to have no, like, and I know what to do, right? Like, I know how to take care of myself. I know what I need to do. I need to go to bed. I need to have a hot bath. I need to make sure that I'm warm. I need to make sure I'm sweating everything out. I need to make sure that I'm making sure that I have vitamin C, vitamin D, everything, like my omegas, like all the things that I know that I haven't been taking, which led me to get sick, right? Because I wasn't taking care of my physical body and I wasn't listening to my body. So then my body says, okay, fine, fuck you. You're not going to listen to me. Then I'm going to make you listen and I'm going to make it so that you can't function. And sometimes that's what it comes down to. And now here for me, it's just a little, something. It's not cancer or an eating disorder or depression or something that is more deeply ingrained into my physical body, into my psyche, into my reality, right? So thankfully, I'm so grateful because it almost makes me want to cry right now just talking about it because I remember what it was like to be there. It was not that long ago for me when I didn't know what to do, when I didn't know how to handle my life, when I'm like, what the fuck do we do with all of this, right? And now the collective energy is in the same. It's like, well, what the fuck? What are we supposed to do now? Like, you're saying not to trust the government. Well, then who do I trust? What do I do? You trust yourself. You take that knowledge, you take that empowerment, and you put it inwards, and you say, you know what? Why am I trusting a doctor when they've never told me to take any vitamins, any nutrients? They never told me that my diet literally creates my entire reality. Like everything that you put into your mouth, like if you go to the doctor and you say you have depression, which this I know from experience, they never tell you, they never ask what you're eating. They don't ask if you're exercising. They don't ask, they ask how your sleep is, I guess, because that's part of a symptom like insomnia or something like that of depression. But um they will not sit with you and say, okay, this is what you need. You should go see like a nutritionist and you should figure out where you're deficient, where you need more of certain things, like, because then your body, your physical body, it can function properly, right? Here's the thing. Most of us have no idea what it is to be healthy. And to me that's just fucking insane because yeah, I've struggled with mental health and addiction and different things my whole life, but I've always had my physical health in a way, right? Like, yes and no, because it's a catch, because mental health is physical health, but in the sense that, like, I'm not overweight. I was underweight, which is a whole nother can of worms, right? Because then you really are withering away. And then it's like your consciousness is in your body, but you don't want to eat. You can't sleep. You can't exercise because you don't even have the energy to exercise. If you're not eating before exercise, you need to fucking make sure that you have food or you have energy in your body that can actually create more energy, right? So it's a really delicate dance for the physical body. And honestly, the shit that they're doing right now is just absolutely fucking disgusting. And so here I am just putting it out in my energy update. Whoever's ready to hear it, whoever's going to hear it, this is where they'll hear it first or not. Maybe it'll affirm something within you. Maybe you'll be like, okay, cool. Maybe I'm not crazy. Maybe I shouldn't go get this booster shot. Maybe I shouldn't go get a 20 million booster shots after the freaking first, even though they don't even though this isn't even a real vaccine in the whole 9 yards. I'm not even technically probably supposed to put this stuff on YouTube, but whatever. I'm protected, and if it needs to come down, then it'll come down. But like, I think it's just really important to just fucking speak right now, because yeah, I've literally gone into this portal of death, and now I'm coming back out, and I'm like, this is what people feel like all the fucking time. Like, no wonder everyone's pissy. No wonder nobody can fucking handle reality, because they're not even physically healthy. Like, you know, like, it's the most simplest of things, but it's not at the same time, right? So anyways, it's a perpetual fucking cycle, and we're trying to break it. And so in order for us to break it, we have to understand, hey, we're in this cycle, right? Step one, recognize where you are. Cool, this is where I'm at in the cycle. Now, what can I start doing to nourish my body more, or my mind? What information do I need to start intaking? It's like, oh, maybe I'll go to a health food store. Maybe you've never taken vitamins. And here's the thing, guys, like, as I'm talking like this, and I'm like, you know, saying like, I can't believe like we don't know this stuff, like, it's not anything negative if you don't know this stuff, right? Like, this is done on purpose by the people that are in the higher realms, that are controlling the people, right? And so if you don't know diet, if you don't know exercise, if you don't whatever, like, if you have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about, then that's okay, right? Like, this is not to put anybody down. This is just to kind of paint a picture so that we can understand like how fucking warped our society really is, and like why we're focusing on, you know, XYZ and not ABC, whatever, you know. And like, I'm learning myself as I'm going through this process. I'm realizing, hey, wait a minute, this is what people need to hear. Hey, this is what people need to learn. And I'm one of these people too, right? Like, I may have studied these things. I don't know them like the back of my hand, you know? Like, I'm just a human too. I've got a lot of life experience, and now I'm sitting in this moment. I still have so much more to learn, right? So anyway, it's just like, it's a learning game, okay? It's a learning curve. That's all that this is. All I'm doing is bringing awareness to the truth, hence translucent truth yoga. Unifying yoga literally means union, to come together, right? So if we can all come together in truth, if we can all really understand how the physical body functions, how the mental body functions, how the emotional body functions, once we can get those three things in balance, then what happens is that we get connected to spirit, okay? And so I'm not even looking at these notes, but I already know I'm hitting them all, right? Sorry, as I hit the TV, or the whatever this tripod thing is. Anyway, so when we can get the mind, the mental body, the emotional body, the physical body in balance, which takes a lot of work, because a lot of us are not even close to being balanced, and that's okay, right? It's just what happens in our society when we're not taught the right things, when we're not taking care of the right things, when we're being told this is more important, focus on this, focus on work. Oh no, don't take a sick day off because God forbid, like, you know, you need to just go to work because your health isn't even that important, right? Like, these are the subconscious programmings that we have and that we are put into. We prioritize money over health, which really is ludicrous, because if you do not have health, then you do not have anything, right? If you are not healthy, if you are not mobile, if you are not able to live your life, then who gives a fuck if you have $1 million in the bank? It's irrelevant, because guess what? You're not able to enjoy it, right? And so that's why, you know, all of this is coming down to making sure that our health is taken care of, right? And so that's why I went into this rabbit hole, of getting sick, of having to die and having to come back to life, and realizing, wow, this is what it's like to have no energy in my body. Oh, yeah, this is what it was like when I was depressed. I felt trapped in my body, but at least now I know all I need to do is take care of the physical vessel. It's not the the wound is not in my mind this time, whereas before it was. I had a lot that I was not able to process, which is part of why I didn't eat, right? So I didn't eat because I couldn't process life. When you cannot eat, it is your inability to process life. This is like Chinese medicine understanding, as well as just like emotional understanding. When you understand when you have emotional intelligence and you understand what it means when you feel certain things, which again, linking into Chinese medicine, has to do with certain organs, certain systems, certain parts of the whole that make it run properly, right? So when we can start learning more about this, even just something as simple as food energetics, right? So what is the frequency? What is the energy of food that you're eating? Like if you're eating fast food every day, if you're eating um, frozen food every day, again, this is not a judgment. I am also human. I also live in the same world as you guys, but it's about choice. It comes down to education and choice, right? And so when you get educated on something, do you choose different? Do you choose better, right? And that's not to say like the human goes conscious and unconscious, conscious and unconscious, right? So it's like, don't judge yourself when you're not being conscious, but just bring awareness to, why are you not being conscious? What is this unconscious program or pattern trying to show you, right? And it could be something as simple as, hey, every Friday when you were younger, you'd go get pizza. Every Friday you got pizza. That was your little treat, right? And now you carry that on through your life. Well, maybe that's not serving you anymore, right? Maybe it is. I don't know, right? But taking these things into account, realizing, what am I putting inside my body? What am I feeding myself? And this isn't just food, this is your thoughts. So going into the mind now, right? So this is like the mind and the emotions. Like, what are you thinking? What are you feeling? As you're going through each day, like, this is where journaling really helps. And I know it's like a broken record, but it is the truth. If you journal, if you get this information out of you, it helps you, because you're literally grounding your thoughts into the physical. Like, you're literally pulling them through you and getting them out of your mind, because if you keep them in your mind forever, then you don't even know what you're thinking or why you're thinking it anymore, right? And that's why doing this belief work, like, what are your beliefs, right? Even just around COVID, around the government, like, it can be a lot to process, right? Like, I understand, because I have been there too, right? Like, I mean, hey, I was gonna say something, but I can't say that in case there's kids listening, and I don't want to ruin their fun with life. But zip my out there. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, so I'm gonna just read off what I got here. I don't want to go too much more into it. I'm just gonna make this short and sweet. We're already 23 minutes in, but yeah. So health, guys, health. Our health is so important. So what is our health? Our health is our mind, our body, and our spirit. Okay, so like I said already, the body side of it, it's like our nutrition, our nutritious value. Like, it's not about like, are you eating, it's what are you eating, right? Because seriously, like, if you go to McDonald's every day, or if you go to a fast food joint every day, and that is your diet, your physical body is like suffocating. It is like, holy fuck, can you give me some real food? What about like some blueberries, something that's gonna oxidate me, something that's gonna help me to move this shit around more? Because the more that you're putting this shit inside of you, the slower your vibration is becoming, right? Because you're like sludge. You're not functioning at your highest optimal capacity, right? And then that's going to affect you emotionally and mentally, because like, oh my god, I feel like shit physically, and then emotionally, god, I feel like shit emotionally, and then mentally, god, I'm so cranky all the time. Yeah, because you physically feel like shit, and then emotionally it's triggering, and then mentally it's triggering, and then you're just have a pessimistic outlook on life, when it's like, okay, here, I'm going to take control over my diet. Aurora told me that this is what's going to help transform my world. So what do I need to know? Well, you need to start looking into like what is it that actually consists of a proper diet, because what we learned in school all those years ago was not the truth. With like the, I don't know, like the government in Canada put out those like food groups and different things and then told us, okay, you got to have this and you got to have this and you got to have this, right? Like having cow's milk in our diet, honestly, one of the worst things that you could have. Like it's one of the biggest lies. Like cow's milk, even eating beef, right? Like there's other meats that are better for you. Like even turkey. We eat a lot of turkey in our house. Instead of ground beef, just because the body, my body anyway, digests it better. Like I don't feel so heavy. I don't feel so gross. Like now when I eat like cow's meat, I literally feel like I taste like a dead cow in my mouth, and it's just not enjoyable like it used to be. But the more in tune with your physical senses that you get as you go on this journey, and you'll go, wait a minute, actually this actually isn't that good anymore, because your taste buds evolve as well, right? So we get accustomed to certain things, and now I'm being told about the fucking gut health, right? Because the truth of it is that we have, most of us have parasites in our stomach, okay? Because our gut health is not healthy, right? And so then what happens is that we get worms, we get different parasites, and they crave all the bad foods. And then you think that you want potatoes, or you think that you want some chips, or you think that you want something sweet. It's actually the parasite in your stomach that wants that, that's telling you to eat that. I know, it's so fucked, but it is the truth, right? And so you have to learn about your gut flora, right? Like what are the healthy bacterias, what are the not healthy bacterias. And again, you don't need to know the whole science behind it. All you need to do is go to your health food store and say, hey, how do I heal my gut? How do I heal? Because this is actually our first brain, okay? Like I know that, we have our mind, we also have our heart. Well, this is like our first brain, because in order for our heart and our mind to work properly, we need to make sure that our physical body is healthy, right? And so going back to our um our gut health, and taking your probiotics and your prebiotics, and making sure that you're not having things that are too high in like processed foods and different things, right? Like you really, I had this thing written on my car. It was like, eat the sun. Like when I was going through a lot of stuff and I was realizing, oh wow, we just need to eat things that have the highest sun content, because basically we're just a plant, right? And so like we're an organism, so we need the sun, we need that life force energy. When I say the sun, I'm talking about the life force energy, right? So if you're making sure that you're having, like people have told me, they're like, I don't even know the last time I had fruit, I don't even know the last time I had a vegetable. And I'm like, that is insane, because like I could live off fruit. Like I love fruit. Now we shouldn't, because like, too much sugar isn't good for us either, even if it's healthy sugar. But like eating an apple is far better than going and getting a pack of Skittles, you know what I'm saying? So it's really just about, and again, going and getting those Skittles isn't going to be the end of the world, but it's just about realizing and prioritizing and like having that awareness, like how does this feel in my body, right, when I take this? Okay, and then hydration is a huge one. Rest is massive, guys. Like especially if you do get sick, right? Like really like tap into like all responsibilities out the window. Your sole focus is bringing yourself back to health. That's what I just did the last couple days. I was like, okay, my focus is to just simply rest and to simply come back to life, like to die, which I did, and then come back into life, right? And again, trusting those cycles, trusting the rhythms, right? It's like, okay, well, if I keep trying to do everything that I want to do while I'm feeling this way, it's not going to go good. And I'm going to get sick for longer, right? So, okay, I'm going to shut the fuck up. I'm going to go lay down. I'm going to go do what I need to do. I'm going to be grateful for the fact that my shop wasn't open for the last couple of days and I could just go into myself and really heal. And now here I am on Tuesday getting the energy update, making sure that everything's good, right? Instead of worrying about it. Like I didn't even worry about it. I was like, okay, cool. Sounds good. I gotta sleep, I gotta rest, I gotta get better, right? And then last but not least for the body, it's exercise, okay? So exercise doesn't need to be going to the gym. You don't need to go to the gym. You can do yoga at home. You can do exercises at home. You can do like, I don't know, bang out like 50 squats a day, do 10 at a time, right? Say you wake up in the morning and you do 10 squats, and then mid-morning you do 10 more, and then at lunchtime you do 10 more, and then mid-afternoon you do 10 more, and then before bed you do 10 more. Guess what? You did 50 squats that day just by simply doing 10 at a time, and then you build up your strength. And that's one way to go at it. I'm next level. I like to just go die. I like to go like pump out a bunch of shit and then die for a couple weeks and come back into balance again that way. But I wouldn't recommend it because it's fucking awful. But I don't know why I do that to myself. I'm just extreme like that. But I guess it's because I have grown up in the gym, and I have grown up as a gymnast, as a wrestler, a basketball player, like whatever, like. So that's why, because it's like my physical body isn't at its healthy state that it used to be, but my mind is still like, it's like, oh yeah, you can do it all, Aurora. But it's like, wait a minute, actually I can't. Okay, so body, that's the physical body. The mind, so our mind is our internal dialogue. What stories are you telling yourself, right? Are they positive? Are they negative? Like for me, when I first started doing my healing work and I looked into my internal dialogue, it was like the meanest shit ever. Like I was like, wow, like I'm really mean to myself, and I never really noticed, right? Like it was just like everybody could do like anything, like anybody could do anything. And holy shit, I'm getting hot right now. And I would, like, oh, it's okay, no, it's good. Ugh. And then if I were to do the same thing, then I would speak negatively to myself. Okay, sorry, I had to run to the bathroom real quick. I took this like thing that has oregano in it, and I thought it was going to make me sick. I could feel it, but it's not because I'm nauseous from being sick. It's because I took oregano, and that just upset my stomach a bit. But anyway, oil of oregano is really good too. It's best antibacterial and antibiotic out there. Antimicrobial. Okay. So yeah, back to the internal dialogue, guys. So I was not very kind to myself, and it took me a lot of effort because I was always capable. I always was competent, except for when I wasn't. And then when I wasn't, I would be really unkind to myself, right? So it's about reprogramming those thoughts, realizing, wait a minute, I'm having these negative thoughts and I'm perpetuating that. So then it's like, well, where did that come from? Maybe your parents spoke to you like that. Maybe a teacher spoke to you that way. Maybe an employer spoke to you, right? So it's like, why do you speak to yourself like that, right? And then how do we kind of learn to unravel this in different ways? Is through meditation. Okay, and like meditation doesn't mean just like, oh, I'm meditating. No, it means that so many different things, really. Like you could be meditating while you're walking. Most of us kind of meditate or hypnotize while we're driving, while you're watching TV. Like don't get tripped up by the word meditation. And a lot of people use guided meditations too, so that they can go back to those certain parts within them and to reclaim them. For example, like an inner child, right? So if I were to take you on a journey through to your inner child, to connect to your inner child, which is an aspect of yourself you probably haven't connected with for a long time, then that would bring things up for you, right? So it's not necessarily just like, oh, I'm meditating. It's like there's so many different ways to meditate, right? And this all helps to unravel the mind, unravel the psyche, to heal that part of ourselves, right? So that we aren't in pain and suffering as we're living every single day. We can heal our trauma, okay? And then spirit. So in order to connect to spirit, we must have creative outlets, okay? So step one is creative outlets, and that's why I always talk about journaling or writing. you can do anything, painting, music, whatever, it doesn't matter, anything creative. And it's about reprogramming the word creative as well, because I never used to think I was creative, but that was because I didn't paint, or I didn't, do anything that like seemed creative or artistic. And then I realized, wait a minute, my whole fucking life is a creation, right? So it's like, wait a minute, yeah, I'm so creative because I have all these different outlets of creativity, and I don't limit myself to like, oh, am I a painter? Oh, am I this? Am I that? Right? So having creative outlets, this is what helps you connect to your higher self, to spirit. Learning, just learning in general, just learning, wanting to learn, wanting to grow, expanding. And then the last thing I have here is like connecting to our guides and angels, okay? Because this is huge. Like whenever I need help, I call on the angels, I call on my spirit guides, because they're there to help me. They're etheric beings, so they're energetic beings. So they don't have to deal with this annoying meat suit that we call a human body. They are just naturally at their highest vibration. So they can come and help us at any time. They're especially wanting us to call on them when we aren't okay, right? Because then that's exactly what they're there for, to help lift us back up, right? Okay, and then I have weak body equals weak mind, right? Which equals weak spirit, which I already went into. And then getting sick is you not listening to your body. And then once sick, how do you care for your health, right? So that's a huge one, right? Is it like, for me, I go to the grocery store and I buy food. I buy different foods that I know are medicines that are going to help me. Like I get ginger, turmeric. You want to get some pepper with that, because you never want to just have turmeric alone. You always want to put pepper with it because it helps to activate it. It makes it bioavailable for your body. So you want to add the pepper in there to activate the turmeric. You can just make like ginger, lemon, honey teas, which actually I got a tea right here I forgot about. Oh yeah, that's bitter. We got some dong quai, which is like a Chinese medicine herbal tea that helps women's health. So that's what I thought I'd go for today. I think I need some womanly love. But yeah, it's bitter. It's definitely bitter. It's not really something you want to enjoy. It is medicine, but yeah, so when you are not okay, so I go to the pharmacy and I go pick up flu busters, which is like a homeopathic remedy that helps you to overcome for your body. It supports your body to come back into homeostasis, right? Even just getting your vitamin C, your vitamin D, your magnesium, your zinc, like all these different things to bring your body back into balance, right? Whereas a lot of us don't do that. We go to the drugstore and we look in the aisle and we get whatever medication that's going to suppress our symptoms. Okay, guys, this is problematic, because then we are not listening to our body, okay? So when we are suppressing our symptoms, this is the same as suppressing our trauma, which means that we are not processing it, right? So if you are sick and you suppress your symptoms, how do you know what your body needs anymore, right? Which it's okay if you got to go to work, if you got things you got to do, but sometimes taking that longer route of saying, no, I'm going to rest, I need to take care of myself, I'm going to learn how the body works, is actually in the long run better, because it's called health preservation, okay? Health preservation, where we learn to preserve our health instead of having to get sick. Then we just always make sure that we give our body what it needs, right? But yeah, so really being aware, like, how do you take care of yourself when you are not well, right? Because again, a lot of lies, a lot of confusion, a lot of misinformation. So when your body is fighting off something, work with it. Let it sweat it out. Take a hot bath, sleep with layers and blankets, cough up all the phlegm out, up and out at you. Listen to your body. It knows, okay? So a lot of the time too, people will swallow their phlegm. Like, that's disgusting, guys. Like, please don't. As I do it, just to show you, because the universe is like, yeah, show them. Because it becomes problematic. The whole point is your body's trying to get it out, right? So support your body to get it out. Get it out of you, okay? Nothing to be embarrassed of, nothing to be ashamed of. Our physical body is a very delicate creature. We are very delicate creatures. All right, let's get into the cards, guys. That's all I got for you today. A lot about the physical body and why we need to take care of ourselves and why we need to relearn everything that we've ever been taught, which it was bound to come at some point. But again, I don't have the resources to give you guys, but this will be stuff as I build my empire, as I'm creating content. You know, maybe I will make stuff to, okay, what do you guys take when you have a flu? But here's the thing, I don't need to do that because there's so much information out there. You just have to find it, right? Like, that's how I know what I know, is I've just looked for the information. So let's see, what wants to come through? We got a card in here that's flipped over. It says yes. Okay, what wants to come through this week? Work your light, Oracle. Trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? Oh, interesting too, because my physical body did tell me I was getting something before I actually got it, because so my nervous system got fried. Like, I could feel it, like everything was so sensitive and stuff, and I could feel it in my lower back. So our lower back, this is where our kidneys are, right? So in Chinese medicine, the kidneys, the emotion governed by the kidneys is fear, okay? And I could feel it. Like, I could feel the fear, and not like, it's not like oh, I'm so scared, I'm afraid. No, it's like, how the fuck am I supposed to do everything that I have agreed to do, in the sense of business-wise, in the sense of creating my empire, in the sense of showing up for the people, and all of this way, right? I'm like, how the fuck am I supposed to maintain this, right? And so I started going into fear around how I was going to do it and different things. So that was also partially why I know intuitively, right? Like, what happened in my body as well. It was like, okay, so I was not facing those fears. I was not listening to that. And I just kept pushing through and doing what I needed to do. And then the physical body goes, you should have listened. So, yeah. So let's just get into it. Someone's trying to call me now. So hopefully the video doesn't get wrecked. So yeah, the body speaks, but we gotta learn to listen. So trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? Okay, so where do you not feel supported? And that's where you need to put your energy, basically. Where do you not feel supported this week, okay? Where do you not feel supported? If it is for food, then just organize, guys. That's as simple as it is. And I gotta take my own advice, because it's legit like, okay, I need a meal prep. I need to make sure that I have the proper food. I've been juicing now for a couple of weeks, which is really awesome. But now I have to start thinking of more warming foods. We're in the middle of winter here, so I can't really be having juice because it's cooling food, right? And so it's also, you know, making sure that you're having more like root vegetables or soups or bone broths or different things like that. Not processed food, not fried food, not fast food. That is so bad for you in the winter time, because it stops your body from functioning properly, and we don't have the sun and the heat to kind of help clear it all out, right? So mirror, who or what is triggering you? So this is the other thing going on this week, guys, okay? So if you were supported, what would you do? And then who or what is triggering you? So what is going on in your world, and how are you being triggered, right? What is showing you different aspects of yourself that need to be healed? And it is so annoying. I know. Believe me. I am human here too, being human. And it is so annoying. Imrama, where are you being called to journey to? Okay, so what this is going to do is open you up to a whole new reality. So where are you being called to journey with this new information, right? So trust your path. If you were supported, if you knew you were supported, what would you do? And then the mirror, who or what is triggering you? And then Imrama, so where are you being called to journey to? So listen to those triggers, journey to where those triggers are guiding you. And then align your life. What is no longer in alignment with who you truly are? Right? So this is the result. This is what happens naturally and organically as we learn to trust our path, to know that we're supported, to see our triggers as blessings, to show us, wait a minute, this is guiding me. Where is this guiding me, right? And then it's helping you to align your life, right? Then here on the bottom, we have birthing a new age. So birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. Okay, beautiful. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. One more. Mintikin, longing for home, belonging, and the original light workers. And then your star mother right under it. So how can you mother yourself? And you're longing for home. Longing for home. That's why we're creating this space. That's why we're learning how to nurture ourselves. That's why it's like, okay, wait, how does this reality work? And play, have fun, celebrate, don't be so serious, okay? So really lighten up with everything. Really trust that what's unfolding for you right now, as painful as it may feel, as painful as it might be, you are exactly where you need to be. Just trust and slow down and ask the questions. If you need help, ask people for help. Hey, do you know anybody that's experienced this? I really need help going through this right now. There are so many people out there that have been through exactly what you're going through, and they can help you. That's why they went through it, so that they can help you, you know? So it is a lot of work. It is a lot of discipline. It is a lot of love. It's painful. But when we can get to that other side of it, when we can love ourselves enough to sit with ourselves, to nurture ourselves, to take care of ourselves every single day, wonders emerge. Wonders emerge when we learn to take care of ourselves, right? So when we learn to take care of ourselves, wonders emerge. What else do you want to tell us, Sacred Destiny Oracle? Your body is your sacred temple. Stand still, and it's reversed, and that's perfect for the collective, because guess what? We hate standing still. We hate being stagnant. But the message of this card is that within that stagnation, there is so much abundance. We couldn't have all this abundance in this beautiful pond or swampy area if we couldn't have all these ecosystems, if it was a river, if there was a constant flow, right? There's a time for stagnation. We have to have that, because that builds up a lot of our ecosystem and a lot of the balance that creates our reality, right? In the environmental sense, right? And so it's the same thing. So when you don't want to sit still, when you don't want to notice the abundance, then you're gonna be hit with resistance, right? And when you're like, wait a minute, I'm in the standstill moment, I'm in the contraction phase, how can I love myself here? How can I not shy away from this part of myself and not try to run away? And it's with openness, right? So this is funny too, because as I said, next Monday is the full moon, and so here we are being illuminated. So we're going to be having all these energies right now that are supporting us to be more open. So sometimes that means we have to go back a couple steps to realize how far we've really come, right? And then as I say that, we got success on the bottom. And one more, illumination and protection. Perfect. Illumination and protection. You are being shown certain things for your highest good, for your highest protection. We illuminate so that you can move beyond and see the miracles in your life, right? So when you can move beyond and embrace what's going on in your world. And then we have new beginnings. Beautiful. Gorgeous. All right, now let's see what archangels want to come through, because definitely want to ask them what's going on. Man, this box is really broken. All right, the Archangels Oracle. What Archangels are going to come through this week for us? So if you need help this week, all of them are available, always. But let's see which ones are going to be there supporting you, even when you're not asking for help. But when you do, they're right there. Yay! Spiritual understanding, Archangel Raziel. I'm bringing you esoteric information and symbols and helping you understand spiritual truths. Perfect, because I didn't really talk much about like the spiritual side of life this week, because honestly, I haven't really been able to access that because I've been dead, right? My physical body's been like depleted, so I'm not really in a space to access that information right now. And like, there's nothing wrong with that because apparently we needed this message instead, right? But as we go through this week and understand, ow, there's like a pain right here. So in that moment, I put pressure, I breathe, I connect to my breath, I let my breath move that energy. I call in Archangel Raphael and I'm like, mate, please help me right now. What is this pain? This is how simple it can be, guys. Like, honestly. So we're gaining higher spiritual understanding this week, even though we're not focusing on it this week, right? It's just going to come to us because it's time. It's time for us to let go of what's not serving us anymore. Perfect. Moon cycles, and it was reversed, okay? So we have moon cycles. Archangel Haniel, notice how the moon affects your energy and manifestations and capitalize upon those cycles, okay? And if you're a woman, pay attention to your period, pay attention to your moon cycle, pay attention to what is going on, your emotional state, your mental state, your physical state. We do go through a very, very specific 28-day cycle. So if you need to learn more about that, I highly recommend it. And if you're a man and you don't have your period, if you got a woman around, learn about her. And if you don't, then just start connecting to the moon. The moon is your intuition, your womb space of creation, right? To be able to tap into the emotional aspects of reality and the ups and the downs and the ebbs and the flows that cycles every 28 days, just like the woman, right? So understanding these cycles, understanding your cycles and your rhythms, that will bring you the spiritual understanding as well, right? All right, let's see. We got Indigo and Crystal Children and Sensitivity. Yeah, guys. Okay. So, Indigo and Crystal Children, Archangel Metatron, you have a bond with children. In particular, you can help children who are sensitive, and then we have sensitivity with it. Archangel Haniel, you are extra sensitive to energies and emotions right now. Honor yourself and your feelings. Now, mind you, that's the other side of being sick, is that physically, is that you are so sensitive because you take everything, you feel everything is so much to process, right? So not only is this confirming to take care of your physical body due to your sensitivity, because you just are naturally an empath, are naturally more sensitive, we're also being shown that this comes in with that motherly energy from that other deck, right? And so mothering ourselves through this time, because we don't actually come from here, but that's a whole nother can of worms. We came here as helpers, okay? Helpers of humanity. And that's probably why you're struggling so much and not feeling at home and longing for home, is because Earth isn't your home. Being human isn't your home, and you come from another place in the galaxy, in the ethers, in the star systems, in the cosmos, right? And so that can be very confusing. And so now, hopefully, you're learning more about what it is to be in this third dimension as a human being on Earth in 2022. And you're realizing, damn, I'm fucking sensitive and I gotta work on that because it's my greatest weakness. but it's also your greatest superpower, because it allows for you to be acutely in tune with reality, with the truth, with your own senses, with your intuition, with your body, with your mind, with your spirit. The more you can tap into that subtle energy, these subtle realms, then the more in tune with the truth that you can be without having to find external sources. Okay, and then we have gentleness. So be very gentle with yourself at this time. Surround yourself with gentle people, situations, and environments. Okay, so just very calming, very nurturing, very here, look at these cards. They're basically the same. They're like, oh, you want another one, we'll give you the same one, basically. So then breathe, which is what I already did to show you guys how I just processed that pain right under my rib here. So breathe. Archangel Raphael, take several deep breaths and exhale slowly to awaken your energy and to release old patterns. There you go. Breath is life, guys. So this is how we can learn to, there you go, connect to our peace. As we connect to our breath, we can connect to our peace. So peace comes from remembering that only love is real. That was so beautiful. Okay, we'll get one more out of this deck and then I'll close it off. Patience, your dreams are blooming more rapidly than you realize. Still, they need nurturing and patience. Okay, guys, there you are. I'm sending you guys so much love. I hope that you have an amazing week. Thank you for being patient with me. Thank you for letting me do what I need to do to function at my highest capacity. Sometimes I'm way up here, sometimes I'm way down here, and we're all here together to help each other through it. So I'm sending you guys so much love. I hope you have the best week ever, and we will talk soon. Bye.